Welcome to the 2017 Legacy Nationals up here in Brisbane, and I'm by myself for this one. So basically what happened is, way back in October when we originally recorded the commentary, we were going to have a guest commentator do round 5, but unfortunately they've been rather busy over the last couple of months, and it's now January, so I've decided to record this one myself. For round 5, we have the owner of Good Game Spring Hill, Carl, who was also the host of this event. He's on his super greedy 4-color Delver list, all foil as well. It's a beautiful deck to behold. Against James Weathers on Eldrazi, the colorless variety, I believe this one is. Now, James is a bit of a newcomer to the format. He's often there, usually just borrowing a deck and playing Legacy Tuesday when he can. So, welcome to James, and we hope he plays a bit more Legacy with us. This is probably one of the more even matchups in the meta, and it comes down to who's able to secure a better start. James is much more able to go in big and fast, and has 4 main deck Chalice of the Void and enough soul lands to make a Chalice on 1 very early, which will combat Carl's 27, I believe it is, 1-drops. Whereas Carl is able to take much more control of the game and go forward, so we'll have to see how it goes. Let's have a look. So we have James on the play, but he's also on a mulligan to 6 while Carl kept 7. It looks like he's got an Ancient Tomb and an Eye of Ugin, so if he can pick up an early Thought-Knot Seer and take a key piece out of Carl's hand, like that TNN that I'm looking at there, he can potentially take this game away pretty easily. Whereas Carl opens with a fairly boring Volcanic Island. There's the Thought-Knot Seer. And what are we going to take out? We've got a Lightning Bolt, a TNN. What else is there to see? This is Colligan's Command as well. Oh, it's a land-heavy hand, though, out of Carl. And without that TNN, he's not got a whole lot of gas. But he picks up a Leovold. Now that will take the game away, especially with all those lands. It's the right play, though. Get rid of the Eye of Ugin and pass it back. Hit for 4 down to 16. I mean, it might just be a little bit too quick for Carl. If he can just beat down over 5 turns with the Thought-Knots here, before he establishes too much for board presence, that might be game 2. And Endless 1 on 2. Not going to do much here. It's just easily going to get bolted or Colligan's commanded straight away. Fetch a second Volcanic. And Bolt and Delver? Yep. Yeah, Bolt and Delver. Block. And once you get off the Thought-Knot Seer trigger, another Delver. That works out. So pass it back. I can see a Delver and either a Colligan's Command next turn, or just a Delver Bolt. But it looks like he's only got Leovold and Delver in hand to play Force of Will, so he might just want to use the Colligan's Command here. Yep. Force of Will, the Thorn? No, no Force of Will. He's just going to take it? Okay. That's a nice 2 for 1. Ooh, Drogo, that's not good for James. Yeah, this is... And kill the Instant. Yeah, this is Carl's game now. Almost definitely. And a Leovold. That's disgusting. See, he's got the Go Mag Angler as well, just to really nail this one down. And Exile leaving Lightning Bolt and Colligan's Command in the graveyard. Not that he's got Snapcaster Mages, but they're good for Deathrite Shaman, swing for 3. Free Endless one, never complain. But he's not got another land. He's in real big trouble here. And does he have any others? Mattery Shaper, Trinisphere, which Trinisphere can't be cast at all at the moment. Swing for 8, block the Angler, take 3. Down to 8 with a Deathrite Shaman. Just scoop it up. This is over. Yep, he scooped it up. So taking a look at the sideboards for these, James has not a whole lot. Leyline of the Void does very little against Carl. It only stops half of Deathrite Shaman and turns off Go Mag Angler, but there's only a one-off in the deck. It's not really worthwhile. So if you're not bringing in Leyline, you don't bring in Helm of Obedience. Grafdigger's Cage does nothing here. Caracas does. It bounces Leovold and lets him draw a card. Nah, not worthwhile. Same goes for Surgicals. I'd bring in Warping Well and All Is Dust here in some measure. Now, All Is Dust is a very good way to get rid of True Name Nemesis. He didn't see that game, but I mean, if he knows the format at all, he knows True Name Nemesis is coming. On Carl's side, though, again, not a whole lot. Flusterstorm does precious little. Surgical Extraction, not really worthwhile. Toxic Deluge is worth bringing in. It's one of the only ways he really has to get rid of Reality Smasher. Wasteland, possibly a 4th Wasteland to get rid of Ayavugan, Ancient Tomb. Abrupt Decay is a maybe, but possibly not. Looks like James is only running 1, 2... Actually, you can get rid of Chalice of the Void. There you go. It gets rid of Chalice of the Void. And we're back. Both players have kept 7 cards. James on the play with a Leyline of the Void. So I guess he really is afraid of that one off Go Mag Angler. Main phase Brainstorm. I mentioned this in the next round actually. I don't like main phase Brainstorming on turn 1. Unless your hand is absolute gas, except for maybe 1 card, it's really not worthwhile. Good, just to keep that hand at all. Chalice on 1, that'll do for getting rid of the 1-offs. It's very quickly Force of Willed. I love those Judge Foil Onslaught fetches too. They don't look nice when you pair them with the Khans or the Zendikar, but they look good by themselves. And is this going to be a Young Pyromancer? Yeah, it's Young PC, alright. So he can very easily go wide off what I saw in his hand before. If he'd stopped flicking them quite so fast, I could take a better look. It's Abrupt Decay, is that a Toxic Deluge? I think it's a Toxic Deluge. And a Deathrite Shaman, so possibly not as quick as we thought. Looks like he's going to go for a second attempt at Chalice on 1, which, with the Young Pyromancer out, isn't quite as good as it was. Oh, Reality Smash, never mind. And block still taking 4 though. Oh, that's a deluge for 5. So that is, like I said before, one of the only ways of getting rid of a reality smash, but it still comes at the cost of 5 life. That's pretty nasty. But with no creatures on Carl's side, it's straight upside. Is this going to be... Yep. Second Chalice. So Carl really needs a green source now in order to resolve any of his spells. He can get the Young Pyromancer out though for now. And a Jide. Jide is beautiful in this matchup here. Yeah, then it will resolve. He doesn't have a blue card to counter that. Westland will take probably the Ironbogen? Could be the Eldrazi Temple. But I'd take the Eye out. Yep, Eye. But he's not in a good spot here. He needs to get something down before he gets overrun here. Said Eldrazi Mimics, yeah. Gonna give 2 tokens. Which will kill any of Carl's threats that he can get out at this stage. Plus a turn back. So this is more or less a reverse of what we saw at this point last game. Carl is not really in a position to recover from this one, but we'll see. Well, he brought in the full combo too. Quick force on that insta-kill. Eldrazi Temple, yep. Eldrazi Temple. Killed the Young Peasy. Is he going to try and snap off this quick lightning bolt for just a token, just a little bit of value? If nothing else, it gets rid of the other token of the... No, he's not. Okay. And there is always the chance that James will miss his triggers and Chalice of the Void. We can't discount that. He is fairly new to the format and new to the deck. Actually, I think this is Carl's deck. So Carl knows it inside out anyway. Then comes the Mimic for 2. 4. And it looks like James has actually missed his Chalice of the Void trigger, so Deathrite Shaman will sit around. When you're playing with Chalice of the Void, it is your trigger. It's your responsibility to keep track of that, so we can't really blame Carl for... But just to check if his opponent is on the ball here. And he's done nothing wrong rules-wise, so... Mimic will get dazed, but Mimic Endless One will get dazed. Is it going to be enough, though? Gitaxian Probe, again, resolves. He's missing his triggers again. he's just going to scoop. I love that. He probably could have taken that to game away if he kept on casting his 1-drops, but let's see what let's see if any sideboarding change is happening going into game 3. So, going into game 2, on the draw, I possibly would have taken my Dazes out then. It looks like Carl kept in at least a few of them. But there's nothing in the sideboard that really stands out as being useful going into game 3 that wasn't going to come in game 2. And both players have just kept the decks as is. There's no sideboarding changes going into game 3. So Carl on the play this time. And a bit of a slow opener there, just to polluted Delta. And an early Chalice on one, but I see a Force and at least one other blue card. Oh, but he's not going to get rid of it. Is that an Abrupt Decay I saw in hand? Yes, it is. Okay, I'll just Abrupt Decay that. It's nice and easy. Keep the Forces as something more important. I possibly would have held that one up then, just in case. I don't think James has any one-drops of his note. Actually, none at all. So yeah, there was no point at all in holding on to that. And as the owner of the deck, Carl would definitely know that. I don't like the turn 1 city traders there. But it does help you get Trinisphere. It gets you a turn 1 Chalice and it gets you a turn 2 Trinisphere, but you're losing your land as soon as you play a second one on turn 2. But 3 Spheres should get forced. Yep, gets forced. Ooh. That's harsh. And a second Wasteland in hand too for Carl. James is only running the one basic land in the deck, so this may lock him out completely. Quick brainstorm, and another Wasteland. So it's possibly worth... No, he doesn't have a fetch land available. But does he have a Volcanic in hand? He can just bolt that Eldrazi Mimic? But not this turn. It's worth taking the 2 damage. Okay, just keep him down. But why did he not ponder there? Oh, because he's got the other Wasteland on top. That makes sense. Yep. Take out the cavern. And ponder into yet another Wasteland, a Daze, and I think it was a fetch. I mean, he's got control of this game, but he needs to find something else to actually bring it home, because his opponent's still on 20. And he could very well be locked soon. Yeah, bolt it. Get rid of that now. At least that's all the Wasteland's gone now. Caracas. Why Caracas? I mean, Leovold? Leovold is the only card affected by Caracas here, unless I'm mistaken. I'm just having a look back over the deck list now. I mean, even if you bounce it, and 3 Sphere absolutely will get days there, but even if you bounce Leovold, it opens you up to cast target removal on his other things, which he doesn't have much of in the first place, for a turn, and then Leovold just comes back down. I don't like bringing Caracas in this match, at all. And is that another Toxic Deluge in Carl's hand? Yeah, okay. So it's 4 life to get a Thought Knot Seer out. Oh, which will then take the Toxic anyway, so that's probably going to stick for a while. And fetching up. Come on, Carl, people are viewing. Get to business. Second red source, okay. Is that TNN? Yep. Okay, so now it's just a race. the moment, though, James is in the lead, but if he casts much more, he'll lose that lead pretty quickly off those 2 Ancient Tombs. Well, there's another 4 life straight away. And into a Reality Smasher, though. That stings. So, blocks that, takes 5, down to 7. And he's got to find something soon, though, because that's a 2-turn clock at that rate. Colligan's Command will do it. Take 4 next turn, block and Colligan's a Reality Smasher. And maybe make James discard, or what creatures can he get at? Does he have any creatures in his grave? It's been a fairly creature-like animal card side, he can't even recur a creature, so maybe it's just a discard. Or destroy a Jide, that'll do. Oh, that's almost too good. Block the Reality Smasher, destroy the Jide, kill the Smasher, just take 4 down to 3. I like it. Let's see if that's what he does. It should be. Wait. Hang on, what? No, James. Caracas doesn't bounce legendary artifacts. Actually, does it? There's Caracas on the screen there. And we can see that it doesn't. Yeah, so that was a game rule violation there, which, from the look of it, may actually affect the outcome of this match. That's a bit of a problem. I hope it doesn't. Because now James is free to replay his Jide. Oh, actually, no, he may not be able to, because that will cost him at least 2 life to play it, and then another 2 to equip. That puts him down to 2, and he's dead to a swing from the Trinian Nemesis. Ponder, make a dude. Okay, this looks a little bit nicer for Carl now. He's able to just block with the team. So, if James equips, he's down to 2 life and is dead on the crackback. If he doesn't, Carl can multi-block here, take out the Reality Smasher, and then most likely win on the crackback anyway, over 2 turns. Yep, block with everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toughness, so he takes nothing, loses 3 creatures, kills the Reality Smasher, and he's dead in 2 turns. Yeah, Mattery Shape is not going to do a huge amount here. Does stop Carl attacking, though. Death Rush Shaman, never mind. So Carl is very easily able to attack here. Any removal that James wants to play is going to be Dismember or Warping Whale. Both of which are too dangerous for him to play right now. Because of his Ancient Tombs. Which he can't play because TNN puts him down to 1. So so this is Carl's game. Almost definitely, unless he has something I can't think of right now. Down to 1. And it's a Cavern of Souls. It's a blank card. Yep, that's game. A bit of an interesting match there, though. We saw it swing back and forth very, very easily. That Caracas was 1, a bad choice, and 2, the game's rule violation. I'm a complete idiot before in thinking that he could block the Reality Smasher and only take 4, because of course Reality Smasher has trample, but I like how making that play there. Colligan's Command, kill the Thought-Knot Seer, take the 5, and destroy the Jide. It went really well overall. But that's it here for round 5. I'll see you in a couple of days' time for round 6.